Tonight we've got a very interesting discussion on Checkpoint, and that is the fate, the faltering fortunes of the boy child here in Kenya. Now, with the girl child, with education of the girl child and many other parameters concerning women, there's lots of statistics. There really have been a huge attempt to be able to measure in very many ways the progress of the girl child towards parity. But what about boys, Yvonne?
What about the boy child? And I remember distinctly a few weeks back we did a story about mothers taking their boys for a mass circumcision. And if you recall, one of our panelists tonight actually tweeted and said, you see, this is the problem we have. Not so much that there's mass circumcision, but where are the men?
Why aren't the men there?
Yes, nothing wrong with the mothers doing it, but why aren't the men there? So the question we're asking tonight is it neglect of the boy child at the expense of women empowerment, or is it that the men are not taking responsibility? Have the roles been redefined? Is this something we need to do over again? I want to give you some statistics. Can't put all of them here, but this is a research that was done on the neglect of the boy child. It was done by Maendeleo ya Wanaume organization. Controversial as it may be, they tried to put together some statistics. Now, they've clustered some of the counties here, and this is just a representation of some of their research. In these counties, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, and Nyandarua counties, they say 35% of school dropouts are boys, and 13% of boys join university. This is, of course, looking at the transition rates versus 20% of girls that join university. So showing that the girls are doing a little better than the boys. Let's take a look at the next one. And if we can move to the next cluster of counties, of course, in Nyeri, you know, one of the other bigger issues is alcohol abuse. And these are some of the issues that are affecting the boy child. I've also taken a look at what's happening in the counties at the coast. Many of the boys, they say, are leaving school to go into the mines, and take a look at that. Now, we come a little closer here to the capital, Nairobi, Kiambu, and Kajiado counties. This is what they say. 40% of boys drop out of school for menial street jobs, and 70% of boys drop out in slums in classes 2, 3, and 4. Now, these are just some of the statistics that they have for you today. If you take a look at what's happening within the North Rift in those counties there during conflict, areas that have experienced that, the boys are the ones who are forced to drop out of school to protect their families, boys dropping out for farming and animal husbandry duties. Has the boy child been forgotten is some of the things we're going to be talking about. And if you take a look at all those other statistics, boys are dropping out to engage in fishing and rampant child labor for boys under the age of 13. So some of these statistics that have been presented, Nderitu Njoka will be joining our panel tonight, but hopefully we can take it beyond looking at these statistics and asking ourselves what we're doing about it. And I think one of our panelists, Pastor Simon Bevy, is here to talk about just that, one of his programs. I mean, it's Transform Kenya, but it's really overall. It's not just about the boy child.
True, and I think that is a fundamental question here. What are we doing about it as men? We know as men we often complain that the girl child is being privileged over the boy child, but what are the measurable actions that have been taken? That's something that would be interesting to note. Already some feedback here on our hashtag Checkpoint. Branded IQ says, a boy not well equipped for the future is a time bomb waiting to happen. And Nancy Okuta agrees, says, yes, girl child is privileged. The boy has to compete to get anything. Honorable Mbugwa Kamau at Ambassador Stephen Mbugwa says the fate of the boy child is fading from kindergarten to bunge. We need men reps too.
All right. I distinctly remember us talking about the men's fund.